Cool. Pitch, handoff. Are they setting up Chicago? Is that the bit? Okay. Cool. Pick and roll. Clint's in a drop. Sadiq's at the nail. Sadiq's not doing anything. Okay, so is this just going to be a Atlanta plays this 2-on-2 so we don't get threes bit? Is that going to be the bit? Because otherwise, like you got Grant one pass away, but is Grant above the break? So sure. I would like if Sadiq's gonna be like be an active, give an active tag on this, or since this is DJJ in the corner, like you would want DeJounte peeled in. But it looks like Atlanta just wants to play this 2-on-2. But once Luka gets you on his back, it's kind of cooked. And then Derek Lively does a good job just driving Clint away, clear a lane for him. So good stuff from Lively, but like I don't. It's one possession, so I guess it's just a. We'll see what the overall plan is for Atlanta. Get another Jalen Johnson bucket. Are we going to get another pick and roll from Dallas? I'm just going to run to the other side. So Chicago action once again, pinned down to a handoff. Once again, single coverage, it looks like. Jalen gets hit. It's going to be no switch. DeJounte still hanging back. Clint's in a drop. Grant Williams once again one pass away. Sadiq not all the way peeled in. I guess Trey is technically in, but like also it's Trey. So like that's really small. So if Atlanta is just not sending high help and they're relying on the low man again, I guess that's just going to be the bit. It's still mostly 2-on-2, and again, if Luka gets you behind him, it's cooked. So early pick and roll in transition. Sadiq not in. Yeah, it's just 2-on-2 within the first 3 minutes. This is going to be a handback or what? Okay. So Clint at the level this time. Doesn't get it to go. Just another pick and roll. So we got Josh Green screening to get Trey Young in action. Oh, I like this from Dallas. Because here it can look like it'll flow to a double drag or double pick and roll, but instead, pick and roll here, you're going to get a stagger for Tim Hardaway Jr. to occupy that side. Trey gets out. Sadiq's there. That's just a tough basket. Are they going to go to the well again? They are. They're going to get Patty Mills in the action this time. This is going to be a double pick and roll. Clint the level. So now we're out of here. Thought it was going to be a switch, but Clint playing higher than he was early in the possession, so that's a foul. So early on, we got dropped from Clint. We got the last couple with Clint getting to the level now. So we've seen a little bit of an adjustment. Contrary to, defenses don't try anything in this era. They just don't try, etc. Cool. Chicago, we got some switches with Onyeka in. You ready to learn step back, buddy? Is that the bit? Oh, okay. He's just strong. Luka's so good at this. The final step, how he decelerates on that last step, he just holds it a beat. He draws a lot of fouls on that, but defenders can't get a beat on it because you think you have the regular cadence of these steps. There's your gather, 1, and your 2, but he holds it, and by the time he leaves his feet, Yeka's already up in the air. So like that could be a foul. I'm glad he didn't call it. But Luka's really good at decelerating on that final step and throwing defenders off balance. I love when he does that. So we got Luka as a screener to try to engineer the switch. Patty Mills going to duck under. Sadiq Bey a little bit late. Not egregiously late, though. That's just tough. Luka's already cooking at this point. So that's fine. I don't feel like that's awful defense. That's just a really tough angle to defend that at. Sideline, get more Chicago action. Veer into a switch. Good Lord. Hold on, dog. This man, Grant Williams, left a skid mark. Tough. Okay. So that's a turnover. Bet. All right, cool. Are we going Chicago again? We are. They are spamming this, dude. So smart to keep going with this action since they've had a lot of success with it. Also, Dante setting the screen because Trae Young's involved. They don't want to switch that. So Luka just gets to come off clean. Switch, you got 2 to the ball. And now it's just time to boogie. I love this camera angle. Got him. That's just rude. That's incredibly rude. I like this. This is one, I like the camera view, but you can see the kind of strain that Dallas in general, teams in general, can put you in. Because like Dante sets that screen, he doesn't go to the corner. He knows that Trae isn't going to switch, so now your low man is Trae. That's a lot of conflict. You got 2 to the ball. You have Dante Exum, who's not down shots this year. But then even here, that's a lot of space for Luka to operate with. If he wants to go left, like Trae's not impacting anything. And wants to go right, it's Garrison Matthews and it's Bogdan. And ultimately, Bogdan doesn't really commit. And that's just a clean bucket. Luka ahead to Dante Exum. Pick and roll time. Oh, I like it. So I like now you have Dante Exum as your second screener. As we saw the possession or so ahead of time, they went Chicago action. Dante Exum was the screener. And then Luka flowed to a handoff from there. So now you have a pick and roll. And now you have Trae showing recovery because they don't want to switch that. That's a whole lot of space. That is a lot of space. So as Trae jumps out of here, Luka's easily able to spin into this space. And even as he finishes the spin, there's no pressure. Jalen trying to work back. There was no switch this time, so Yuka's just kind of here. And then that's just a tough shot. Does he make this? He doesn't. All right, first possession of the second. Luka as a screener. Pin down into the handoff once again. They are spamming the heck out of this. So you got Jaden Hardy sitting that screen to get Trae Young involved. And now as we get to the roll from Rashawn Holmes, this is what you got. Jaden starting to drift, it looks like. You got the roll. Trae's your tag guy. He's your low man. Good hands from Jalen Johnson, honestly. Because that is a skip to the corner otherwise. And just as a broader note with Atlanta's defense, like this is also why I just kind of feel sorry for Trae. Because like even while acknowledging, like I feel like he's played harder on defense this year. Once again, Jaden Hardy's a screener, more Chicago action. Atlanta deals with it pretty well. Jalen fights through. We screen again. But even as they flip the pick and roll this way, Bogdan's in. He ain't really in. He ain't impacting anything. That's a whole lot of space. Solid contest. Luka's just a bucket, dude. It's just kind of tough. All right. High pick and roll. Is this going to be a switch? It's not. We got a trap. So we're a quarter and a minute in. We've seen a drop with no real help. We've seen Clint at the level. We've seen a show and recover with Trae engaged. We're now seeing a blitz from Luka. So we've seen 4 different coverages through a quarter of this game. So it's not like Atlanta hasn't tried stuff. We have seen 4 different coverages. And Trae gets the steal. So we're matched up. Bogdan is in this time. But it's nice to see more commit help at the nail this time from Bogdan because he hasn't really done it to this point. Recognizing that he has the Derrick Jones Jr. matchup and he's flowing into this space, not really threatened by his shooting ability out here. So I like it. Luka's just tough. Trae Young gets a corner 3. Didn't get that one to go either. Okay. Oh, so is this the clip that's circulating all throughout Twitter? Is this going to be the one? And we get the Gore talk. Okay, I'm super. I understand it's a Twitter thing. I understand that's just how Twitter works. I have seen the shortened, zoomed in version of this possession like 30 times today. With look at how bad defense is today. You mean to tell me that all of that is a transition opportunity in which Luka's primary defender falls behind trying to go for a rebound? And so from the beginning of the possession, Luka's just able to keep Jalen on his hip. It's transition, so no one's really loaded up. And then you get the gore top from Rashawn Holmes. And this is where defense just doesn't get played in the league anymore. This is the possession. Come on, dog. We got to be better. We have to collectively. We have to be better. Dang, Derek. I can't believe that's the possession that people are talking about. I can believe it, but I can't believe it. Anyway, pick and roll, sides empty. Sadiq Bey, strong contest. So you have an empty side pick and roll, Rashawn Holmes rolling middle. Garrison Matthews is your low man, and he's small. This is also the inherent issue with your big wing defender having to take Luka, and then your center being engaged. You don't have anyone else. Bogdan's high. Then it's DeJounte Murray. Then it's Garrison Matthews. But Garrison Matthews peeling in early. So in theory, connected. He's in a drop. Bogdan at the nail. Help is peeled in. So in theory, Atlanta has done what they're supposed to do scheme-wise. The issue is Luka Doncic is really good. Like Sadiq stays down on the pump fake. Doesn't fall for it at all. Clean contest without fouling. Luka's tough. Does that count as a tough 90s bucket? So Bogdan is your primary this time. High pick and roll. Rashad is going to slip out of there, so no real screen. Luka feeling it. That's tough. Not sure what you're supposed to do with that. All right, what's next? Garrison Matthews, this is what they pay you for. Good shot. Hawks lead, by the way. But anyway, super early high screen from Dante Exum. Oh, Luka just heat checking. Okay. Trey Boogies against Luka. Nice feed. Very nice feed. So about 4 minutes left now. What we running? Is this going to be just a regular entry? So if we remember the YouTube video that Steve and I did, something that we talked about was the way that Dallas was intentional about clearing the wings, clearing space for Luka. So as we just get this pitch to Luka, Tim Hardaway Jr. to the wing, Josh Green in the corner, Derek Lively in the dunker spot. That is a whole lot of space. And now you got Grant Williams in the corner, which is where he's most comfortable shooting the basketball. That's a whole lot of space for Luka to operate with. Good defense from Jalen Johnson so far, but gets the foul. Luka doesn't feel any pressure from anyone. He's just able to use Jalen Johnson's aggressiveness against him. That's a really tough spot for Jalen Johnson to be in. Does a good job there, physical with him. Like Sadiq doesn't even really bother this. So we got double drag. Double drag. Derek Jones Jr. is your first screener because they don't want to switch Dre. So you may get two to the ball here. Derek Lively as a second. We've seen Clint in the drop earlier in the first quarter. He's been at the level a little bit more recently. And so sure enough, Trey's starting to jump out because that's been a show and recover with him. You see Clint up to touch. And so because of that and what Luka's seen earlier in the game and earlier in the corner, Luka's like, all right, bet, we're just going to reject. I think that's Tim Hardaway Jr. in the corner. DeJounte can't help. So he can peel in if he wants, but we know Luka can make that skip pass if he wants. And because Clint is already up to touch on Derek Lively, again, he's playing pick and rolls a little bit higher than he was earlier in the game. That's a whole lot of space. And Clint doesn't really have a chance to recover here. Now, with a possession like that, that opens up because of all the things that Atlanta has tried to do scheme-wise and Luka recognizing what they're doing scheme-wise and turning that on its head. Is that bad defense from Atlanta? Is that Atlanta isn't trying on defense? Or is that Luka is really good and he's also really smart and he recognizes what he's going to see scheme-wise and he has a counter? Like, that's very much praise Luka to me versus Atlanta's an abomination. And you know the bars that I've had about Atlanta's defense this year. So we got more transition, looks like. Well, just early offense at this point. All right. So we're matched up. Jalen on Luka. Clint's going to pick up Derek Lively. Trey has Derek Jones Jr., Sadiq Bey on Grant Williams. You got DeJounte in the corner against Tim Hardaway Jr. Pick and roll with an empty side. Again, with Trey Young involved, that's normally been show and recover. Just got to switch this time. It would have been nice if Luke just pulls this out and just tries to bully Trey one-on-one. All right. What we got? Nothing early. Pick and roll. Clint, once again, up at the level of the screen this time. In the first quarter, he was in a drop. It's going to be a switch. Ooh. It's good defense from Jalen. Luka's tough. So we get early on. Trey's not super peeled in, but fine. Grant going deep in the corner. Derek Lively in the dunker spot. So in theory, you have this wing cleared, but you see Jalen Johnson starting to step up. Luka doesn't like it. So, all right, let's go pick and roll. Jalen Johnson is still here. DeJounte Murray's peeled in, even though that's a really good shooter there. So scheme-wise, doing what you're supposed to with extra help from the strong side corner. So Atlanta's trying. This just turns into a switch. You got Clint funneling Luka to his left. Jalen Johnson is here. Steps in front, doesn't foul. We got the recovery. This is good defense from Atlanta. I just don't know what you're supposed to do with that part. Also, we're going to get Spain pick and roll. Looks like a Nikias fave. We like that. Derek Lively, your primary screener. Guess who's going to be involved in the second one? Is Derek Jones Jr. because he has the Trey Young matchup. Very neat. So we got to switch. And again, like even that's a counter. Like, okay, well, if you're going to switch, let's involve the screener and let's involve the defender that you absolutely do not want to switch with then, so we can find a way to manufacture two on the ball. Like that's good, smart stuff from Dallas. We got an adjustment from Atlanta, and now we got the counter adjustment from Dallas. Let's run Spain then. We know you're going to switch this first one. That's fine. That role is going to be there. What are you going to do with this portion, though? You got Clem on the island against Luka, and now we're going to get Trey in here. Sure enough, it's Luka versus Trey. That's tough. Is that bad Atlanta defense? Like I don't really have the beef for Atlanta like that. I'm sorry. So we'll see. It looks like Derek Lively's about to come up for the pick and roll, but before we even get here, look at all of this space. Look at all of this space. Look at all of this space. Is that a late angle flip from Derek Lively? Because that's what it looks like. There's the switch. Trey comes with a double. I like the timing from Trey because you can see him right here. He's getting ready to go, and it's like, oh, wait, actually, let me let this play out first. And then as soon as he goes here, now Trey's here. Luka's tough. That's a really sharp change of direction here. I think he sees Trey, and he darts inside here with this push and this gather. And that turns to a foul. I don't think that's bad defense from Trey Young. I think the double could have been a little bit cleaner from him, but like I don't think he did a bad job. That looks like an on-the-fly, oh, snap, this double team is coming. Let me see if I can slow this down a little bit more so you can see, because he's driving to his right, and he's going to dart a little bit inside right here. And then there's your gather, there's your foul. So even that feels like micro adjustment on the fly from Luka versus bad Atlanta defense. And he gets free throws out of it. Jalen scored. He scored and fell. So that's Luka's primary defender. And so now Luka just gets to dictate things. He has Clint already. And as you note Clint Capella's positioning here, from the jump, I am shading you left. You are not getting to your right hand. You are going left. You can only go to this side. We keep you on the sideline. I try to funnel you here, get some hands, get some congestion here, especially since Derek Lively's here. I'm shading you left. Luka said, that's real cool. How about I just step back on you? Like, it's just tough. Like, Luka loves that left wing. So if you want to nitpick there with Atlanta, like, okay, that's bad. That's not knowing your personnel because Luka loves the left wing. So shading him left may not be ideal, then sure. But even then, think about what you have to say there. Hey, we can't shade this guy to his offhand. He's too good at it. That's just tough. And I don't even think Clint defends that poorly. But I will. So we don't get our next Luka, a true Luka possession about 2-3 minutes later. Push after a make. Oh no, we got Trae Young on Luka. Luka dusts, absorbs the contact, couldn't get it to go. So our next Luka possession isn't until here. I think the fourth quarter is where we get the true like double team portion of the program. This isn't even a play. This is just I'm stronger than you. I'm going to absorb the blow. You probably could have called a foul there if you wanted to. That's incredibly tough. High off glass. That's a dirty bucket. What do we have here? Let's get Patty Mills in the action. Show him recover. It's just tough, man. So he's gonna go under, so you can try to meet Luke on the other side, and Luke recognizes this. And as soon as Patty's out of there, hey bud, there isn't anything you can do about that. Nice recovery from Sadiq Bey. It doesn't matter. Nice dump off. Nice finish from Onyeka. We like that. Pick and roll. No switch this time. No switch, but even here, Bogdan's in a little bit, but in theory, he's got a couple of 2 or 3 dribbles to get to the left wing here if he wants to. Patty Mills one pass away. He's not going to super commit off of Jaden Hardy, you wouldn't think. So Luka has space. If we just pause it here. Sure enough, that's tough. Because now your issue, because Jaden Hardy can shoot, Patty Mills is now working towards the nail. He's working towards this help instead of just being in here. And as Luka gets inside leverage on Sadiq Bey, Patty Mills working towards it. You got the arm on the side from Sadiq, and you get Patty Mills getting his hand caught up in here. You can see right there. I didn't do it rough stance. Will get you 10 out of 10 times. That's tough. That's free throws. Bogdanovich 3, cool. Lead down to 8 for Dallas. Once again, we get this early drag screen from Josh Green this time. We know they don't want to switch that. Show he gets out. But ultimately, Trey's trying to release because he thinks that he has him, but he doesn't. That corner is also clear. So now Luka has a runway. Oh my goodness. Wait. I don't even know if he makes the shot. Wait a minute. Then he goes step back here. Ew. Ew. I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. Hey dog, I'm just staying here until you can get back, Sadiq. Now I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. Oh no, that's a runway. Onyeka, like, all right, cool, but wait. And then he goes step back on top of that. This man is filthy. What the heck? Good gravy. Let's get Trey in that. Wait a minute. Oh, that man, he checking for real. Brother, at the edge of the logo is funny. Yeah, Luka's a joke, dog. Let's get Trey in the action once again. Quick read from Luka. I know Trey wants to show. I know he wants to come to this angle here, so I can't turn the corner. So anticipating that he's going to come out to this side, I'm going to attack this space right here. Bop. That's leverage. Bogdan working towards Luka to help in. That's Tim Hardaway Jr. right there. That's a really easy pass to make if he wants to make it. Luka doesn't care because Bogdan doesn't really fully commit. He slides and he's working to retreat. So he doesn't get his hands in there, doesn't want to get called for the foul. So now Luka's just in the paint. Avoids the blow. That's a foul. Now, do I love this? Is this vertical from Onyeka? Like, he's kind of... I don't really care about this portion too much, but I guess he does kind of jump to the side a little bit. The arms aren't completely vertical, so I guess that's a foul. I don't love that being called. A little clip there. The audacity for him to try this pass. He sees the window right there. That's good stuff from Onyeka. Because he's moving towards it. Luka's an insane person to even attempt that. But all right, Atlanta gets a bucket. Now it's down to 3. Oh, we're in the fourth quarter now. Let's have some fun. Look at how high this screen's being set. And Grant nails it too. So now it's Garrison Matthews working towards it. Sorry, bud. What we got? That's not bad defense. What on earth do you do with that? Good gracious. Jalen's got the assignment. Like, Bogdan's a step up off of Tim Hardaway Jr., but at the end of the day, that's Tim Hardaway Jr. in the strong side corner. You can't, like, fully commit to a double team here. Like, that's still ample space on the wing with Jalen kind of shading him this way. DeJounte isn't all the way peeled in, even though I think that's Dante Exum. So, like, in theory, as we get here, DeJounte retreating. He's got the right wing. Rashawn Holmes going to the dunker spot. Bogdan's in, but he's not in. That's space on either wing. Hezzy for Luka. He's got him opening up. Slithers through. I feel like we saw this with the Jalen Johnson foul in the second quarter. And I think Sadiq Bey was in that right corner. He doesn't really do anything. It's a similar look here. Bogdan's in, but he's not really committing to the help. He slouched over or whatever. But, like, that's not anything. I love the final step from Luka. So here's you gather one. Look at how he holds that second step. Jalen can't get a beat on this. So that's one. And then on that step there, Jalen's already left his feet. Jalen is in the air and Luka hasn't gone up yet. Like, that's a really difficult thing to defend. And then on top of that, he's fading backwards. There's your switch. They're really struggling to get this man to basketball. There it is. There's a double. Dang, Derek. Heck of a block. They screen at half court for Luka. Poor Bogdan. Off the rebound, misses. Ball's here. Is this going to find Luka? That's a foul. Okay, cool. What on earth? Tie pick and roll with Jalen Johnson. Got 2. There's your 2v1. Clint just knew he was about to get that lob. Jalen Johnson's like, nah, I got it. But okay. High pick and roll, full-blown trap. Tough. Clint opens up. This man went between his legs. Like, went between the legs there. He went between the legs here to get away from Clint, and then pushes this ahead before DeJounte can get to it. It then taps it. How in the world did he fit that through there? Good Lord, this man is insane.